Hello friends, welcome to ADO.NET tutorial. In this video, we will learn about DataViewRowState and RowStateVersion. The DataViewRowState enum defines data row status. So this enum defines multiple constants. By making use of those constants, we can fetch records based on its row status. So below are the enumeration value that can be accepted by the DataViewRowState enumeration. One is original rows. So this constant tells that rows after initial load or rows after calling the accept changes. So let's state that you loaded records in the data table. So after the initial load, the rows are in original state. Let's state that you modified a specific row, right? After that, you made call to accept changes. So when the row is modified, it will be in dirty state, but once you accept the change, once again, all the rows becomes original. So in this, the second row is modified, but since the change was accepted, it becomes original. The next one is added. Added denotes newly added row. Suppose if you add a new row here after the initial load, this newly added row can be seen using this added enumeration value. So that's why added denotes newly added rows. Current rows. So that's one constant. So this tells modified rows which was not yet accepted. Say for example, after initial load, you modified a row, but you doesn't make call to accept changes. So those modified rows are treated as current rows. Modified rows which was not yet accepted. So that's what called current rows. Deleted row. Suppose for example, if you completely deleted this row after the initial load or after the accept change, this row can be seen using this deleted enumeration value. So deleted means original rows which was deleted. Original row means rows after initial load or rows after modification and subsequent call to accept change. So that's original row. Original row when it is deleted, that can be seen using this deleted constant. Modified current. Rows modified from original state. So can get all modified rows. Modified original rows before the modification from original state. So these two can be used together. So modified current means row modified from original state. So if you take this one, the row previously was after initial load, and then this row was modified, right? And let's state that we haven't made call to accept changes yet. Now modified current will, modified original will be rows before the modification. It will denote this row, and modified current will denote this one, right? This is the modified current. That means we can take both. So using modified current, we can tell what is the previous value. I mean, with the modified original, we can tell what is the previous value, and with modified current, we can tell what is the current change to that original column. With DataViewRowState, we can get both modified as well as original value. That's what here we are talking about, modified current and modified original. With the DataViewRowState, we can get both modified as well as original values. We already know about the select method. We used that with select expression as well as a sort expression. The third parameter, so we previously saw that select method is taking select expression, that's first parameter. Sort expression, that one is the second parameter. And now we will get introduced to third parameter that accepts the DataViewRowState. So here if you see, in the final panel we have three buttons, right? Here we are handling the btn row state added click event and DataViewRowState, right? That's the enumeration, right? Row status. And from DataViewRowState we are taking the enumeration constant added. Then to the select method we are passing our search text, sort text as well as row status, right? This means we are taking rows that is newly added. Finally, we are making call to the display rows and we pass our filtered row here. The same way for modified row, this time we used modified current. So modified current only we are passing, that means row modified from original state. So all those rows will be retrieved, and that's the row status, right? Row status, when you pass, it will retrieve all the modified rows from the data table. This will be useful to know how many rows is touched by the user after the initial load. So if there are 91 records and if a user modified 12 rows, with this single statement you can get all those 12 rows which is currently modified by the user and not yet accepted. Here in the third we are using the deleted, right? If you look at deleted, original rows which was deleted, right? Then we use the select method with this new row status and we are displaying the content. This time to the display rows we are passing the value true, right? We already saw about the display rows. It will now land into else portion, and since the row was already deleted, we can get the original row and tell which row was deleted, because here the row is deleted, right? We want to take the deleted rows. The deleted rows will not be visible in the data table, right? But since the change is not accepted, we can retrieve what are all the row user deleted. So you can use this technique to, even though the data grid view is not showing those records, we can tell these are all the row marked for deleted. So when you make a call to accept changes, these rows will be deleted from the database, right? So we use row DataViewRowState as deleted, then we give that to the select statement, we get filtered rows, then we are making call to the display rows. So here to work with deleted, delete the committed rows, right? Means not the row you add in grid, and if you delete that, that will not get shown here. Alright, now anyhow we are going to work on disconnected way, right? So we can freely delete some rows and check how it is working. That's all. Now we will go ahead with the demo. Alright, now we will go to the design view and implement this added flavor of the example. The code was already explained in the slide. We will directly run and see what is happening. So let me scroll down and add 2 new rows. So that's our first record. Now we will go ahead with the second one. So just added two. So just added two record. Now let's see how it is displaying. So these two rows are added, not yet committed. That means we haven't made call to accept changes. When I click added here, our intention is to know some records are initially loaded to this table, data table, and I want to see all newly added row. So now using the row status, we can pick those two rows which was added here, right? So that's the use of added. Since we haven't yet implemented the accept changes, I am closing this and rerunning it again. But this time we will include the modified. So here in the modified, if you say, when I run, there are some rows that got initially added, right? Here I am just picking some sample rows and modifying it. There are 4 rows modified. So everywhere I added 0, 1, and now when you click modified, you can get all 4 modified rows. And if you see, these are all the 4 rows modified in the data table after the initial load. Now, before making the accept changes, you can know what are all the added row and what are all the modified. So added, there is nothing, but modified, there are 4 rows that got modified. Now let's delete few records. Okay, delete we haven't yet implemented, right? We'll go ahead and implement deleted. So just pasted the code for deleted. Now we will run the sample again, and this time let me delete. This is 1 row, second row, third, and 4. 5 row I deleted. And when you make a call to deleted, if you see, the deleted stuffs are not displayed in the data grid at all. But with this row state, you can easily get those deleted rows. Before accept changes, this is dirty, right? Dirty deleted. Now let me pick some row and do modification also. Right, 3 rows I modified, and let me add 1 row also. Right, now if I click added, I can see that after the initial load of data table, the data table is disconnected from the database, and these are all the dirty rows. One is added newly. When I do accept changes, a new row will get inserted into the database, and I can see there are 3 rows modified and 5 rows deleted by the user. So this row state will be useful to know what kind of action is performed on the data table after the initial load. And when you commit changes by making call to accept changes, 5 rows will be deleted from the database, 3 rows will be modified in the database, and 1 row will get added to the database. Right, that's all here in this video. We are ending this sub-series. Thank you for watching. Bye.